Let us offer President Lee Gi-sung a great round of applause while we welcome him onto the podium. All those attending the 1480th Cheonshim Won Visual Devotion, I congratulate you.
40번을 38번 할 때 이루어지는 숫자가 1480입니다.
So 40 times 48, that is 1048.
처음 시작할 때부터 끝까지 함께 해온 분들에게 진심으로
And to those
감사를 드립니다.
who started at the beginning until now,
열심히 참여하시던 분이 우리 배춘기
those members, I am grateful. And one of those members is Mr. Bae Chung-gi. And one day, when it was snowing heavily,
책임자가 돼서
he was in charge of visual devotion in front of the detention center.
10시간을 머물면서
So on the car,
해결할 일을 하지 못해가지고
his way to the detention center, he was there for about 10 hours.
전립선 문제가 있고 해서 전 병원에 가시는 신세가 되어서
And
지금까지 소변줄을 차고
that unfortunately caused him to go to the hospital.
도저히 보고 싶어서 못 견디겠다고 소변줄을 차고 참여를 했는데 오늘은 또 구치소 화독교회 책임이라고 소변줄을 끼고 구치소를 향해서 정성 들이러 갔다는 얘기를 들었습니다.
And today is Hwado Church in charge of the detention center, and he said he could not miss it, so he took his urine line and drove his way there. And because we have these people who offer sincere devotion, we're able to continue this visual devotion until now. I as well, being able to offer 1480th visual devotion, this was a long distance, impossible without Heavenly Parents' guidance and help. There were times when I was sick, and I also have difficulties unspoken of. But in the midst of these difficulties, I am physically and mentally and artistically exhausted. And sometimes I would say, perhaps this is the last day of my life. So I myself am walking this path with many difficulties. And there are people who would cause a great fuss about one wrong word given at this visual devotion. And in the past, when we were persecuted, there were a persecution about things that were said outside. But nowadays, there are things that we're being persecuted about inside and out. And because this is not easy, we cling more onto heaven. You must think of such a heart. And you'll be able to understand the value of devotion once you offer 1,095 days of straight devotion. Like True Mother offered 1,095 days of Shimyo devotion for True Father's grave, for True Father. And while establishing this Cheonshim Won, she said we must treat Cheonshim Won like Cheonshim Won, saying it will be the most important part of the providence. And she told us about Shimyo devotion, and she said we must offer devotion like Shimyo devotion. So what that means is we should attend this visual devotion like Shimyo devotion. So we must attend True Father in Cheonshim Won like in his office and offer devotion like Shimyo devotion. Like drops of water, making a lake, and those lakes making a river, and making an ocean.
기도하기를 바라시는 것이
True Mother hopes that we can offer prayer in bigger groups. That was their desire.
어머님의 번양원 기도로
Like this,
청년관이 같은 우리들을 깨닫게 해서 찾아야
with True Mother's prayer at the Ponyangwon,
찾아가듯이
she is awakening us.
정성과 기도로 하늘 보좌를 움직여서 청명관이와 같은 이 세상 사람들에게 아버님
And to the people of the world,
그들을 깨우치게 하고 아버님
through Father's works, to awaken them,
남북 통일을
and through Father's works, to bring about unification of North and South Korea. That is her wish.
아버님 뭐 하고 계시냐? 진 성도 황제로서
If works
뭐 하고 계시냐?
don't happen, we would ask,
정성이 부족해서
what is True Father
역사하지
doing?
못하는 게 아니냐?
Then we should ask, is he not working, or is he unable to work because of the lack of our devotion?
저에게는 큰 메시지가 내려오는 것입니다. 아이도 정성이
That is why I receive messages from True Mother saying, your devotion is not enough.
엎어질 것 같을 때 이것이 마지막 정성 들이다가 죽는 길이구나. 그런 자리에서 정성을 드릴 때 하늘의 역사가 일어난다고 하시면서
True Mother says that when you offer devotion
생명을 바쳐
to the extent or to the point where you're about to collapse, that is when heaven truly works. And True Mother says we must
요즘에도
offer devotion like that.
기도 뭐하러 하느냐 이런 쓸데없는
And
이야기 하는 사람
nowadays, there are actually people who ask, what do you do Cheonshim Won devotion for?
안 됩니다.
You must not say words like that so lightly.
다 기도하고 해야 됩니다.
Especially if you're leaders, you must pray before you talk. To speak like that. You must ask True Mother,
그래.
I don't want to do Cheonshim Won devotion.
그래서 안 하면 괜찮아요.
Then, oh, okay, you don't have to do it. If that's the case, then it's fine.
말씀을 드릴 때
But when you
천심원 기도
ask True Mother,
그러면 예.
and she says, you must go forward with Cheonshim Won devotion,
가져야 됩니다.
then you must reply, yes, I will
우리가 그동안에
attend visual devotion with my life.
섭리를 놓고 보나 정말 마음을 깨끗이 해가지고 어머님 천심원 정성 안 드려도 되겠지요. 그러면은
But with a pure heart, and we asked, do we have to attend visual devotion?
직계 자녀로구나 칭찬하시겠어요?
And do you think True Mother would reply, you are the needle I was finding for. You are the true child.
얼마나 기가 막히겠어요.
Probably not.
모든 교회의 분위기가 완전히 바꿔줘야 됩니다.
The atmosphere of all of our churches must change.
구치소에서
True Mother, in the detention center,
청성 들으라고 그런지 모릅니다.
how much she's asking us to offer devotion.
수련생들이
So our spirituality trainees, from Friday to Tuesday, 24 times, in 3-hour sessions,
아주 여러 사람들이 한
they would shout
빠질 정도로 기도하고 정성을 드리고
and offer devotion and prayer.
그렇게 몸부림쳐 가고 있는 것입니다. 그런 속에서
In the midst of that,
생시처럼 아버님 말씀을 하시고 그 아버님의 재촉하는 말씀 그 말씀을 메시지로 받아놨는데
True Father speaks to them, and we have some of the messages here. But I don't think I should read all of it because you'll be too shocked. And that is how much the spirit world is trying to guide us. We are living in such a time. The devotion we offer, each and every one, the spirit world is watching over. You must hear the voice. Now you're offering devotion from the spirit world. You must say, now I will offer filial piety for True Mother.
우리도 우리의 모습을 보고 진정한 모습을 보고 연기해서 감동할 정도가 되어야 됩니다.
And we must be able to move the spirit world by them watching our true selves. So we're connected to about 17,000 locations and about 46,000 members connected worldwide offering this devotion. And how grateful we are for this. Today, Cheonseong Church
참여를 해서
297 people,
온라인으로
members are
참여하는
participating.
사람까지 따지면 많습니다만은 본원에
And this is not including online. Everyone here is on site. 297 from
천승교회
Cheonwon Church and Cheonseung Church.
천원교회 280명.
And the first one was Cheonseung Church
천승교회가 297명.
and Cheonwon Church
1등입니다. 천원교회가 280명.
280, Suwon Church 75,
일신교회
Ishin
72명.
Church 72, Iksan Church 71,
창원교회 68명.
Changwon Church 68.
그리고 전국의 교회가 함께 정성을 들이고 있습니다.
That's how Korea is offering their devotion. Heaven Japan Sendai Church 214, Kitaichi Church 150, Nagano Church 148, Masayama Church
41명.
141, Okayama 136, Osaka Church 136,
120명.
Fukuoka 120, Kawasaki Church 106, Urao Church 106, Suita Church 90, Fukui 90, Karazawa Church 88, Toyama 86, Takasaki 85.
이런 식으로 신일본에
In this order, Heavenly Japan,
또 전쟁하는 것 같은 기도회를
as if in a war, they're offering their prayers.
또 오늘 국제적으로
And internationally,
천심원
Mozambique Cheonshim Won, we have 75 participants
공시에 있고,
connected.
마닐라 천심원 50명.
Manila Church 70,
영성
Heavenly
수련생 40명.
Central and South America
또 신사
42,
아프리카 제3차 41일 수련생
West Africa
15명.
35,
또 솔로몬 제도
솔로몬,
천심원에서도
Cheonshim Won,
이렇게 정성을 모으고 있습니다.
they're also offering devotion.
오늘 일신 대교회가
From Ilshin Grand Church,
맞이해서
they are facing their 600th visual devotion, and 72 people are offering visual devotion. In Yongcheon Church, it's a very small church, but they're facing the 600th visual devotion.
천성 대교회
And Cheonseung Grand Church,
왜 이렇게 많이 모였나 했더니 오늘이
I was wondering why so many people gathered,
라고 합니다.
but it's their 500th visual devotion.
97명이 함께 모여서 기도하고 있습니다.
And as their 500th visual devotion, they have 297 people.
축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
오늘 김제교회도 500회를
The Kim Jae Church is also their 500th visual devotion.
들여다 보니까 가정에서 놀라운 일이 있었다고 메시지까지
And there's even a message
주셨는데
about something happening, something great happening in their family
하겠습니다.
facing the 500th visual devotion. But due to the lack of time,
정성이
I'll read it
쌓이면
next time.
놀라운 일이 벌어집니다.
If
예천교회,
if devotion stacks, then miracles happen.
다치가와 교회,
Tachigawa Church,
500회,
the 500th visual devotion. Kamigawa Church, 500th.
시바타 교회,
Shibata Church, 400th.
구마모토 교회,
Kumamoto Church,
300회.
300th.
예, 그리고 오늘 수련생들을 보면
Today, if we see our long-term
수련생이
trainees,
910명이
we have 910
40일 수련생이
40-day workshop trainees,
69명,
369 spirituality
쪽에 수련이
workshop,
541명,
541,
효진정 수련회,
and today Hyojinjeong workshop,
일주일 만에 또 40명이
and in a week, we have 40 participants.
하고 있습니다. 우리 사진이 아주 잘 나오고 있습니다.
We have it very nice on video right here.
효진정 수련이라는 것이
The Hyojinjeong workshop,
개척이 됐는데 정말로
we just made it,
은혜로운 분위기에서 진행이 되고 있습니다.
and I believe it's being conducted in a very
앞으로
graceful manner.
개발돼야 된다고 했는데
Sri Mother said we must develop many workshops,
수련이 자꾸 개발되고 있는 겁니다.
and like this,
그래서 수련소
little by little, new workshops are being developed.
많이 지어야 될 것 같습니다.
So I believe we should
그래가지고
open up
여기는
small
이런 수련하고
training centers around this area.
점장이라고 그래야 되나? 그게 아주 그냥 뭐 많은 사람들이 작은 점장이 돼가지고 수련을 끌어갈 수 있도록.
So we should perhaps have
틀림없이 될 겁니다.
workshop
그러니까
center vice presidents for each location in the
앞으로
future.
가늠할 수 없는 능력 받는 사람들이 나올 겁니다.
And in the future, we will have many
이
righteous and competent people.
거룩한 성산에 그런 수련하고 잠자는 시설이 수십 개가 세워진다고 한다면
And if we have many facilities here, I believe such people would be naturally attracted to here.
5차 수련입니다. 이번 수련 온라인으로 진행이 되는데
And this week's weekend workshop is online. And how many participants do you think we have?
짐작하시겠죠?
Our Secretary General may know how many participants we have.
한번 맞춰보시지 그냥.
Take a guess.
맞춰보기가 쉽지 않았네요. 엄청나게 머리가 좋은 분인데
He is a very smart person, but he seems to have difficulty guessing.
이번 접수가 아직 다 완결된 건 아닌데
So the registration is not complete yet.
17,287명입니다.
We have 17,287 people registered.
78명, 일본이 1,500, 15,315명, 국제가 294명.
So we have about 1,600 from Korea, 15,000 from Heavenly Japan, and about 200 to 300 internationally.
많은 겁니다. 특별 회원을 하는 가정,
Those who have special liberation are registered for special liberation.
특별한 반개 조상 회원 하는 가정이 1,982가정,
1,982.
회원을 받는 날이 되는 겁니다. 조상 축복식도 이 자리에
And for ancestor blessing, which is going to be conducted here,
1,330가정이 신청을 했습니다.
we have 1,330
그렇고 힘든 때
families registered for that.
텅 비어 있으면 얼마나
In such times of difficulty,
하늘이 서러우시겠습니까?
if this workshop center were empty, how sad would Heavenly Parent be?
우리가 모여서
But we gather here and offer praise,
40일 수련생들이 1,000명 가까이 수련 받고 하면서
and close to 1,000 people attending long-term workshops. Because they make this atmosphere, we are strengthened. And I too,
모습 보면 힘이 나고
when
천심원 처리하고 기도 오는 분들 보면
when my strength leaves me, I see these trainees, and I'm able to rise up again.
어머님께서도
And True Mother, who is in the detention center,
사람이 넘친다. 앉을 자리가 없고 찰 자리가 없다고.
when we say that
점점 뜨거워.
the training center is filled with people, we have barely any place to sit.
수련생도 없습니다. 이거 어떻게 견딜 수 있겠습니까?
But if we say, oh, we have no
어떻게 견디는
trainees,
건 희망입니다.
how can we take it?
저도 그래서 수련생
It is hope that keeps us from languishing.
저도 중심령도 접수하고 그렇게 먼저 본을 보여서
So you must.
것입니다.
So I too am also liberating central evil spirits
완전히 구원받으려면
and registering for these programs to be a model.
정적으로 조상들을 다 축복했다 하더라도
So even if I liberated all my ancestors,
영들을 부활시켜야 할 마지막 사명을 받은 우리들 재림 부활 놀라운 진리입니다. 다른 사람들은 모릅니다. 불교로 윤회만
the second coming resurrection,
돌고 윤회만 알아요.
in Buddhism, they talk about reincarnation, rotating.
이 원리를 안다면은 재림 부활의 원리를 안다면은 윤회 해탈이라고 말할 겁니다. 아주 그런 놀라운 권능을 가지신 분이 참 부모님이기 때문에 아프리카 모잠비크에 가도
So,
추장 귀신이 들어가가지고 랄랄랄랄랄 하고 그러잖아요.
even in Mozambique,
내보면 좋겠네.
we can see evil spirits going into members and saying, "에데데데데." It'll be interesting to see people try imitating that.
이름이 방구라고 그래서 처음에 여러분 때
And we also had a member called
참 시름도
Banggu, which means fart
종교 주도자예요.
in Korean, and he's a
전화 분원장하고
religious leader.
뭐 문인표하고 리치하고 다 가서 선도 역사하는데
So at then,
시간에
with Dr.
28명
Reverend Chong,
어렸습니다.
Mr. Liu Yiqi,
수영원을 빌려
at that moment, about 27 people collapsed.
28명이 홀딱
28 people collapsed at once.
뒤집어지면 그냥 맞박을 때리면서 들어 실어 날르고 난리가 났었어요.
And it was really a mess.
근데 정말로 큰 소리를 지르는 한 사람 뚱뚱한 흑인 아줌마가
And there's
있었는데
one
알고 보니
sort of overweight
흰방울에
woman
영이 들어가서
there,
살려달라고 소리 지르는 거랍니다.
and she was shouting the loudest, and it was the spirit that was causing that shouting, saying, "True Mother, Heavenly Parent, please
정준하 국장이
save
그렇게
us."
하길래 아, 이거
Reverend Chung
잘못했다고
reported that to
그러더라고.
us. And we said,
많은
"Good,
사람이 다 들을 수
let her
있게
shout louder so everyone can hear."
부모님의 그 의상이 더 드러나는 거 아니겠어요?
Then perhaps that is sort of
400만 명 정규
testifying the true mother in a way.
그분이 저 안에 들어가서 참부모님 살려달라고 그런 우리 참부모님 얼마나 높으신 분인가? 그러니 깍지뚱
And he's begging for Heavenly Parent to save true parents.
살려달라고 소리를
In French, she would just keep on repeating this.
그만하면 됐다고 맞박지 몇 번 때려주라고 그러니까 정준하 국장이 가서 턱 때리니까 그냥
And then when Reverend Chung came and just offered ansu on her head, she would just
정준하 분원장이
lie
얼마나
down.
높은 사람이겠어요?
So how high is Reverend Chung?
사람입니다. 그런 정적인 권위가 있는 거예요. 그래서 그런 의상을 이런 일을 통해 아는 겁니다. 우리가 이렇게 어렵고 힘든데도 이런 일이 벌어지니 야,
So in such a difficult time, such things happen. We can see how mighty or how high true parents' status are or standing is.
흘러갑니다. 아주 그러나 시대와 장소와 주권을 초월한 영주권자가 하늘 부모님이시오. 그 하늘 부모님의 주권을 위임받으신 분이 이 땅의
And
천지인 참 부모님이시다.
the authority that transcends time and space, that authority belongs to Heavenly Parent, and that authority was bestowed from Heavenly Parent to true parents.
얼마나 부끄러운지 곧 알게 될 것입니다.
And the persecution that's happening to true parents, how embarrassing that is, that will soon be manifested.
아주
And they will risk their lives witnessing.
아프리카에 가니까
Dr. Kim Young-ok, going to Africa,
뭐 일주일씩 꼭 온 사람도 있다 그러잖아요.
she said that there are people who took a shower once a week.
혼숙님이 가신다면 어떤 일이 벌어질라나?
If Hunsung-님 went there, I wonder what would have happened.
아니 효진님 모시고 가는 연하님이 가셔서 만약에 안수
Or if Mun Yuna-님 went there,
하나도 안 받아도
think about giving ansu there.
혼숙님이 안수한다 그러면 정성을 하도 많이 들고 와가지고 머리에 손만 얹으면 그냥 달달달 떨고 그냥.
They would offer so much devotion, and I think even just touching their head, they would have their hands trembling, and works will happen.
할렐루야.
True?
아니 저도 무슨 옛날에 갈 때 안수를 배웠습니다.
When I went in the past, did I learn ansu or what?
어머님 아프리카 가시면서
When Shumather went to Africa
18년도에
in 2018,
17년도 후반기에
in the latter half of 2017, she said, "Go and liberate Africa." So we went to 4 locations in Africa
네 군데 했습니다.
and had our great works there.
원장이 와서 머리에 손을 얹어 기도한다고 그러니까 머리에 손을 얹자마자 눈물이 그냥 댐이 터진 것처럼 눈물이 확 쏟아지는 거예요.
But as I went there, when I tried to offer answer to them, they would start to shed tears immediately. That's the works of Heavenly Parent.
두 분이 그냥 한번 가시기만 해도 좋겠어요.
So I think it would be nice if Hunsung-님 and Yeona-님 visit there once. If you just touch the members there during great works.
안수는 안수 배운 사람들이 하고
And let
기적이 벌어집니다.
answer be done by those who learned it. Miracles will happen.
정말 기적 같은 얘기 들었습니다.
And yesterday we heard
시간이 없어서
something of a miracle.
설명을 못했지만은
Although due to lack of time, I didn't explain it. But Johan Linsen, before going to the spirit world, how many illnesses did he have? He was basically a basket of sickness. During prayer, powering power, he had illnesses and had difficulties with the family relationships, and also had many medications and had trouble sleeping and had extreme fatigue every day. And because he couldn't work, the family would offer calling name prayers and offer answer to him. and told him to go to the workshop for 80 days. And he said he felt that coming here didn't make it better, but got it worse. But he got an amazing realization. Interestingly, when offering 천연역사, he would not choke at all. And watching the struggles of True Mother, watching my heart crumble, and even watching Mother, tears would flow naturally, filled with sorrow and pain. He kind of realized what situation we are in and what situation True Mother's in. And she realized that, this is the heart of me loving Mother. So True Mother going to the detention center, not being able to eat or sleep, not being able to watch TV, not being able to live at least. There are many members who are like this. That is because that is how much they love True Mother. He realized, this is my heart of love toward Mother. So after the 80 days workshop and he went home, surprisingly, his his asthma was completely cured. And this is what he testified to our coordinators here. He taught us about the Heavenly Parents of miracles. And we also have another testimony. She made a determination to enter a 40-day workshop as she thought it would be difficult after graduation, to set roots of faith deep that are unwavering no matter what situation, and also to deeply feel the heart of Heavenly Parent and True Parents. With those goals, she attended this workshop, and she went to a position of truly resonating with Heavenly Parent's heart, and she was able to set those roots of faith down deep. We do not know how precious this is, how deep you send your roots of faith. If you send your roots of faith deep down to True Parents' level, then you don't have to worry about anything. They won't take their own life. Because they're floating without their roots of faith set deep, that is when they face tragedy. But our trainee here set her roots of faith deep, and thinking about how she will live her life, she said, I will give a gift to her mother who can witness to Christians. And she also made a promise that she'll become the greatest firefighter in this land. So our second generations must be number one no matter what field they pursue. Heavenly Parent is alive. All the words we received are the words about that. There are teams going to the detention center every day, centering on Minister Song In-young. Even on cold days like this, they're offering devotion in front of the detention center. Even Elder Pastor Cheonshim, even though their age is over 80, representing the elder members, with the shabby appearance, they're still heading towards the detention center. To everyone who's offering devotion in front of the detention center, let us offer them a great round of applause. Now we will stand firmly on faith on our faith.
정말로 하늘에 상달되도록 하시고
And let your prayers reach heaven.
정성의 기대 위에서
And on the foundation of the 1480th Visual Devotion,
기도의 문을 열어가는 복된 시간
I hope this becomes the time where you can widely open the doors or the gates of prayer. Thank you so much.
은혜의 말씀을 주신
Let us offer President Lee Gi-sung another great round of applause for those profound and meaningful words.
감사합니다.